Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lynn with AskLynn, a platform where I basically give you my opinions based on things that I have experienced. Today we're going to be tackling frenemies. So the first sign is that you notice that they aren't there for you like you're there for them. So case in point, say you are just having celebrations, you're throwing these parties, or there's a major important event that you want this person there for, and they consistently drop the ball on you. It's, yeah, I'm gonna be there, of course, sure. Last minute, you know that they're gonna bail, and surprise, surprise, they end up bailing on you. It's usually some lame excuse. Oh, this came up, I'm so sorry. Sometimes they don't even reach out to you or have an excuse. But then you notice when you look at their Insta stories or their Snapchat or whatever social media, this person is consistently out with other people. The added bonus is they never seem to remember to invite you to these events. So you're always inviting them, they can never seem to invite you or remember to even come to your events. Keep in mind, this is done on a consistent basis. Most often than not, they're not there for you. So another sign of a frenemy, the second sign, is they give you backhanded compliments or tease you. So I'm just as sarcastic as like the best of them, right? And I find that when I grow to like really be into you or comfortable with you or just grow to love you in general, I have a kind of terrible habit of like teasing you a little bit, and I hope that they can return some of it back to me. This is within reason. I will never, as a friend, if you confide in me something, I'm never gonna then turn around and wait for a moment to expose that or throw it in your face in jest. If you've confided in me something that is especially painful to you, that'll never leave my mouth to laugh at. That's not a laughing matter. And so with frenemies, sometimes you'll realize, or you'll start to realize, this person is bringing up some very painful or embarrassing things about me at the most inopportune times. And so when this starts to happen, you've got to sit back and wonder why, or what is this person's intentions, especially if they're supposed to be your friend. Like say you're at a bar or out with a couple of friends, people who you want to respect you, and this person sure as heck, you know, just like clockwork, comes out of nowhere and says the most embarrassing thing. They may turn around and say, oh, we were just joking, or you know, I'm just joking with you, or oh, I was just trying to lighten the mood, or I was drunk, or what have you. But again, this is something that will have become a habit by the time, and perhaps, you know, maybe this is something that they're doing subconsciously because they aren't feeling as confident about themselves. But that's not your problem. That's not a good excuse. To build themselves up off of your back or by tearing you down bit by bit is not okay. That's not the sign of a true friend. So you need to be aware of somebody who is using any platform that they can to kind of expose you or tear you down or embarrass you. So another, which is the third sign that I say definitely you want to look out for, is somebody who, when you are celebrating your talents or your achievements, they've got to one-up you, right? We get this person where you're like, oh man, you know, like I got an A in this class. I totally thought I was gonna fail. And the first thing they do is take the spotlight and put it on them. Like they may say, oh, you got an A in that class? Who was the teacher? Yeah, I get an A in that class all the time. It's like hard to even get a B. I get A's in all my classes actually. So like that shouldn't be that hard, but I'm glad for you. You know, like, what did their getting A's all the times have to do with you being happy about you getting your A? You know, and then also it kind of diminished the fact that you got a good grade because, oh, that should have been an easy thing. People who constantly try to, oh, you went to this city? Yes, I went to Prague last week, actually. Yeah, I go to Prague all the time.
Okay.
You want to be mindful of the one-uppers because there's a reason why they're doing it. Conversely, you might have somebody who, when you've brought a good bit of information to them, like, wow, I'm so excited, I just got this business venture, I just booked this modeling gig, you know, I just started this, I'm so excited about it. And this is after you have heard all of their spiel of all the good things happening to them maybe, and then suddenly you're like, okay, well, this is going on for me too. You start to notice a little bit, your conversation as you're talking to them on the phone went from that to like flatline. They don't want to hear that you're doing well. They just wanted to be on the phone to brag to you. And once you start telling them, hey, that's wonderful, you know, you've been genuinely happy for them this whole time. Once you start with your bit of good news, you notice the energy, like it might as well be like you're talking to a dead person, because it goes from, yeah, I did all of this, I did all of that, and when they hear about yours, oh wow, really? That's so great. You're getting a vibe that something shifted, but you can't put your finger on it, and you're like, but they can't be jealous. They have all these great things going for them. Like, what would make them jealous of my little bit of good news? And that's exactly it. It's a problem within them, but it can be toxic to you. Like, you getting above them is not benefiting them at all. It doesn't benefit their self-esteem. So when you realize that when you give them good news about yourself and they don't feel good about that, that's a huge sign that they're just benefiting off of your misery. Never underestimate how much somebody will put investing their time into making sure you stay miserable. So just notice the vibe when you're talking to somebody and you share good news with them, and then their vibe starts to decline, because that's a sign, that's a huge sign of jealousy and a possible frenemy. This one, this one plays on people because this friend always seems to have juicy gossip about what other people are saying bad about you. So at first you're thinking, wow, this is really a road dog. This is really, you know, a ride or die. They're getting all this intel and coming back to me with it. I didn't know these other people were so fake. How good of them to come back to me about it, right? But the problem is that they're telling you all of the conversation that happened from the person who is speaking bad about you. But you're not thinking about what led to this conversation even happening. If I have a good friend, people know not to talk to me about my good friend in a bad light, because they know that, like, I'm that rock steady with my friend. Like, I'm not going anywhere. So don't even talk to me about this person in a bad way, because you will get told to take several seats, right? So you have to think, what made the other person feel so comfortable to talk to your friend about you in this way? There had to be an opening that your friend did about you that made this other person think, we have a common enemy, so I'm going to talk to you about this person, right? So you want to figure out, if somebody's always bringing you juicy details about what somebody else had bad to say about you, you have to ask them, okay, so what did you say? Or why did they feel so comfortable to come and talk to you about this? What made this conversation even take place? Because if you don't ask this question, you might be passing over a potential snake in the grass. So that's all that I have for the bonus. Another good one though, and this is not bonus, you know, this is something that even brought you to this video in the first place, and that is your intuition. Your intuition is screaming at you that this person does not mean you any good. So you want to trust your intuition when you're picking up subtle cues. Like I said, when you're telling somebody good news and you notice their whole vibe changes towards you, or their energy goes down. And sometimes, you know, in that case, maybe they're having a bad day. We never know. And people who aren't happy in that moment can't actively celebrate with you and be happy for you. This has happened to me myself, where friends have told me something so great and I genuinely just wanted to be happy for them, but my life was flipped upside down and I just didn't have the mental capacity to be there with them at that moment. But you know, and so if you notice that that's happening to somebody who's usually happy for you, you might want to just check in and make sure that they're even in a space to take in that information right then, right? But if they're constantly just like not trying to hear about anything good, but they can dish out all the good that's happening to them, or if they're giving you the backhanded compliments, canceling on you, they're never there for you, these are some pretty sure signs that you've got a frenemy in your camp. These people will hinder your growth. They may hinder your financial success, your workplace success. So you've got to get them out of there as soon as possible and find the real people who want nothing but the best for you in life. All right, guys. So if you've reached this ending of the video, thank you so much. But I just wanted to, get your guys' feedback. Have you had an experience with someone who we would call a frenemy? What raised the flag in your eyes, that lets you know, hey, this person might not be in my corner like I think they are? And then also, how did you go about confronting that? Are they still in your life, or did you get rid of them? Leave a comment in the section below and let us know what stood out to you and how you went about dealing with it. That's all I have on frenemies for now. Stay tuned for the next episode and see you guys then.